Today in our studios we have a very special guest, Rati Bishnoi, who is a board member for ASHA for Women. This is a well-known organization in the D.C. area that helps women of domestic violence, particularly in our community. And I welcome you here to Darshan to talk a little bit about the organization. And this is a very special year because the organization has been in existence for 20 years, which is a very long time. They were founded in 1989. And as a matter of fact, they will be celebrating their 20 years in a gala event tonight. So tell me a bit about ASHA for Women, the mission, and the unique challenges for serving the Indian community. I always think of ASHA serving the Indian community, but I think you actually serve more than the Indian community.
Yes, that's right. ASHA for Women for 20 years has served to provide domestic violence victims that are South Asian with the support they need to empower themselves to live abuse-free lives. We've been doing this by providing referral services and culturally competent support for all of our clients.
Now, what's typically the biggest barrier to helping women? Is it the language issue that is the hardest to get past, or sometimes are women unwilling to talk about what's going on?
That's a great question. I think it's important to know whether in the South Asian community or whether in any other community, domestic violence is an incredibly difficult issue for any person involved in it. That said, there are some unique challenges that women in our community face. And when I say our community, I'm referring to South Asian women from Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, basically all of the
whole southern subcontinent.
Exactly. And of all religions, domestic violence, as I've noted, it does not discriminate where you come from, what religion you are. So on one hand, it is a shared struggle that all women face. There are unique challenges, and some of those unique challenges are that there is quite a stigma in our community.
People are very private, and they don't want to necessarily share this kind of information with an outsider.
Exactly.
So there's a certain discomfort level. But do you have people who can mentor in that situation, or who provide psychological support?
Yes, we have a wonderful group of client advocates, and they come with a wealth of knowledge on how to anticipate and meet the entire spectrum of needs that these women might have, from the emotional component all the way to legal, financial, immediate safety concerns. So we have a very competent volunteer force that has seen a lot and is ready to help.
Do you find that some of the people you've worked with as clients come back and help the organization?
Yes, we've had that a few times. Anytime you see a client that is self-reliant and has, rebuilt her life and is living freely, that's always a positive moment. But when you have clients that return back to become advocates themselves, or speak out on the issue of domestic violence, or their children come back and volunteer with us, that is always a very fulfilling moment, and it's also quite the testament.
So tell me a little bit about how ASHA for Women works. I mean, you are a volunteer organization. Do you have chapters in other cities? How do you get people to come in and help?
We do not have chapters in other cities. We're entirely DC based. That said, because we've been around for so long, we have a lot of contacts in other organizations that are based in different regions. So we're able to, work with clients that maybe contact us from outside of a region, and then be able to steer them onto an organization that can.
But you're a nonprofit, so
yes.
You rely on people making donations to the organization
yes.
in order to sustain and keep yourself going.
Yeah, we are a 501c3 organization, and we are primarily volunteer-based. We have a very lean staff. It allows us to keep a low overhead, and we could only do this because we have a wonderful volunteer base. We've got a working board, and all of our board members bring a certain expertise to the table, which helps us run organizationally.
So speaking of expertise, I thought this was very interesting. You have a reporting background, journalism background, I should say. So how did you decide to work with ASHA for Women as an organization? What piqued your interest, and how do you become a board member?
I've always thought that this issue was very, very important. I believe in the health of families leading to healthy communities as a whole. When I realized that I wanted to, spend my free time outside of work promoting a cause that I care about, I looked up domestic violence organizations in the area, saw ASHA, started volunteering, and what went from, just working with one client soon developed into me being able to use my reporting communications background to help the organization sort of function more efficiently and communicate more efficiently. And I really loved being involved with the organization and seeing all the people that we work with and that we help.
How many women would you say in the course of the 20 years, how many women has ASHA for Women helped?
I would say we must have helped more than 600, 700 women, and
Wow.
Those are just our clients. Many times clients have young children. A lot of times in our helpline, for every one client, we might get 2, 3, 4 more.
Now, do you follow up? I mean, it seems to me like you don't just go in and help one time. This is a consistent situation, so you have to maintain contact with the person. You have to build a relationship with them, which can span up to several years, it sounds like. That must be very draining and taxing on the volunteer base as well.
I think you hit upon something very important. It can be very, very draining on our volunteers. That's why we take measures to make sure that there is support within our volunteer network, so that when there is some type of caregiver burnout, basically, we're able to anticipate it. We're able to prevent it, and in cases where it is sort of too extreme, then we're able to put that client with someone else.
And you can always help the organization beyond working with clients. There's all kinds